Shine bright up all night. We're never slowing down. Fall in love, drunk mistakes. We're bound to hit the ground. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Please hit that thumbs up. Wow, that is alive.
We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. And we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. Young blood made of gold. A mind you can't control. Running wild, can't calm down. My head is in the clouds. Gotta keep this feeling, keep on breathing, even if we're slipping away. So I close my eyes and lose myself now. Do it like it's only today. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this. We got a party for a lifetime. No, we ain't stopping for the sunrise. No, we don't care about the bad nights. And for a second I can feel like this. Make me feel like this.
Well, hello everyone. How's the world doing today? Did you see the eclipse? Did anyone see the eclipse? We had 90% coverage here, and it got dark, and you could tell it was about 90% coverage. It was interesting. I think we had one in, what was it, 2017? We had an eclipse. The next eclipse, I think, is 2043. 2043. Which, I mean, think about it. We are closer to 2043 than we are 2000. I'm going to give myself a panic attack by saying that. That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Yeah, lots of craziness. It was very neat. It was cool. I watched a lot of it on online today, like in Mexico and stuff. Yeah, 2043's, I mean, it's closer than you think, you know. It was 95 there. Well, that's amazing. Do you guys hear any noise in the background, like mowers? I've got my windows open. So if it's too loud, if it's loud, let me know. You hear it? Oh, I wish I was 28, Laura. God, I wish I was 28. I'm like knocking on 40. Like really knocking on 40. Like really, 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 really knocking on 40. Um and okay. So I've and I think my body feels it too because I just went to the doctor and had blood drawn a few days ago and stuff. Ugh. So, you know, all that stuff. I feel you feel 25. Mentally, I feel 12. St- no, mentally, I feel 25. 25 is a good age. 25 is a great age. You'll be 82. You go, Deborah. You are rocking it out. I Let me just say something for a moment before we get started with this. Deborah said she's 82. I totally admire and respect our elders who are Deborah's age, um, and anyone that didn't grow up with any form of electronics, like at all, and are still, are evolving and learning to do the things right. I mean, I'm knocking on 40, really close, and I didn't have the internet when I was a kid, right? So the internet's still very new, overall. So I think that's just amazing. Hey Nick, good to see you. Good to see you, dear. Whose body was found in Kingsport? Yeah, I think it was skeletal remains. I think it's an adult, from what I'm understanding. Um, so we'll just kind of have to wait and see on that. 51 looking 20. Well, that's the good thing about, aging these days is, back in the day, about 40, 50 was about as long as you lived, a lot of times. And thank God we have like antibiotics now and Botox and fillers. No, but we just don't age as much as we used to. We live longer now overall. Yeah, they still don't have any information on any of the news channels yet. Just remains we found and they sent to forensics. Doesn't tell male, female, child, or nothing. I have heard that it's an adult. That's just what I've heard. So, yes, retinol. There's two things you can put on your face. It's retinol and vitamin C. Remember that. And hyaluronic acid to pump those things up. Pump it up. So, I just thank you so much, Legan. Appreciate it. Appreciate you all being here. Um, so we are going to talk about speak for yourselves. I've aged bad in the last couple years. Pug mom, listen, when I got Lyme's, I have aged tremendously in the last 6 years. Like a lot. I am much bigger, you know, overall, but I thought I was dying for a long time. So um and stress will age you. Stress will age you for sure. For sure. And there's just points in our life where we age more. It just is what it is. Take good care of yourself, try to eat good and move your body. Lyme's is very tough. It's very, very, very tough. It completely changed my life. And try to get it early. Try to get it early. If you are having symptoms, a lot of doctors just won't even check for it, or they won't send you to the specialist. And, so many people who have Lyme's, it takes a year or more to get to finally get a diagnosis. So, and by the time that's going around, you're stuck with a lot of it. But the good thing about Lyme's is it comes and it doesn't come. I mean, it's always with you, but it's like anything that is um autoimmune related. It good days and bad days, right? And um all that. So, I mean, I've got a freaking I just got look at that, I got a bruise where they just took blood. She had to stick me 3 times. Like, lady, come on. All right, let's get started. So, oh, it can't. It's yeah, something's been going on with me. So, I'm trying. We'll get through it. We'll get through it. Okay. Now, enough of that. So, we're going to be talking about Caleb Harris mainly today. And Caleb Harris is a young male out of Corpus Christi, Texas. And he has been missing for some time now. Let me pull some stuff up here. Guys, this is a very, very perplexing case. And I don't I don't have an answer, and police don't have an answer. Nobody has an answer. Where is the Sorry, y'all. So, let me we'll just pop this up while I read this. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button, whether you're on J for Egg or Clutch Them Pearls. Appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to Clutch Them Pearls, that's my main channel right now until May 28th. Make sure you subscribe to that so you don't miss anything. And also, I have a new channel. It's called Hey Sweet Tea. And make sure you subscribe to that if you want to talk. It's just me pretty much gabbing. So, yeah, 1 second here. All right. So Caleb Harris, he vanished mysteriously from his off-campus complex in Corpus Christi in the very early hours of March 3rd. Caleb Harris was playing video games at his off-campus apartment in the cottages of Innis Johnless Road near Padre Island Drive when his two roommates and a mutual with his roommates and a mutual friend. They played for more than an hour with one another, former classmates who currently lives in Colorado. Now, at around 12:56, March 4th, remember we're after midnight at this point, a doorbell camera at a nearby apartment complex captured Caleb, his friend, and one of Harris's roommates in the apartment complex parking lot with a puppy that belongs to the girlfriend of one of Harris's roommates. According to Corpus Christi police, nothing appeared out of the ordinary. Harris and the two other young men then returned to the apartment. Trying to give you all an overview of this. Now, Harris had never had any form of depression or anything of the sort. In fact, uh, he was an avid fisher, loved to fish, and he planned things down to a T. He was planning on going fishing the next morning. After no one could find Caleb the next morning, his family and his friends reported him missing late Monday. Investigators say Caleb's keys, wallet, and truck were left in his home, but Harris's cell phone is also missing and now turned off. Despite numerous search efforts, they have done so much. I mean, let me tell you something. The Corpus Christi police, they are some of the best I have ever seen. They are so thorough. They are so um they have great communication skills with the public. It is amazing. Darcy, thank you so much for gifting one membership. I really do appreciate that. If you receive that membership, please thank our sweet, sweet Darcy. All right. Yeah, just within moments, he had went missing. All right. Now, I want to show y'all some interviews and we're going to go over where Caleb lived and everything that has gone on. There is some video out there that Caleb of Caleb just right before the night that he went missing. All right. Court TV.
For the public's help in finding missing Texas college student Caleb Harris. Investigators are now updating the timeline in hopes that it will bring Caleb home. The 21-year-old was a student at Texas A&M Corpus Christi when he disappeared about a month ago. His wallet and his keys were left behind, and his last known contact with family and friends was around 2 a.m. Scripps News Corpus Christi has the background for us on this case.
Investigators say Caleb Harris was last seen early in the morning on March 4th near his apartment on Ennis Jocelyn Road in SPID. According to investigators, Harris disappeared without his wallet or keys, and his phone has since been turned off.
That normally doesn't happen, especially in today's day and age. People don't go hardly anywhere without their cell phone.
So Caleb went missing somewhere. He had just walked the dog, got food, and the food was still on the doorstep the next morning. He put the dog back into the apartment. He stepped out. He was barefoot, so he was obviously planning on returning to his apartment, eating his food, and probably going to bed to wake up the next morning for fishing. But that never happened. How do you go missing in just mere moments?
Former law enforcement officer and current security specialist Roy Smith has covered investigations for over 20 years. He says there's a specific process when it comes to investigations, especially when someone has gone missing.
So you want to try and build that timeline to piece it all together of when the last time the person was around. And then you want to try and find out, okay, is there foul play? Is there a chance that he was harmed in any way? Was he assaulted?
The father, Randy Harris, says he's thankful for the support that he's been receiving and is hopeful that his son will return home soon.
I can't even begin to tell you how many people around the world are praying. Keep on the lookout, keep posting, keep praying. And, if he hears anything, to know that, he's loved and that he's not in trouble. Nobody's after him, and just come home. But give us a sign. But God's going to lead him home.
Caleb's family have just been amazing, wonderful, wonderful family. They too live in Texas, about 4 hours away. They live in Central Texas, a city called New Braunfels, Texas, which is about 30 minutes north of San Antonio. And it's just really perplexing. The Uber driver has been cleared. He's not in any trouble. He doesn't have any criminal history whatsoever. He is just the best young man anyone could ask for. I mean, if anyone had a son like Caleb, they are considered blessed. He goes to school, he fishes, and he's around his friends. Now, his two roommates, everyone around them has been cooperating, has been uh Uber drivers cleared, and like there's nothing, absolutely nothing. Thank you so much, Darcy. Appreciate you, my dear. Love you to pieces. You mean so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, they're actively searching for their son. Now, there's a bridge close by, very close by to Caleb's apartment that he may have been walking around at the time. But the thing is, there's not a lot of water around it. There's just not a okay. Um, how far is the bridge from his apartment? Why is he walking there with no shoes on? I think he was just getting his food. And he had taken the dog out and he came back out. We don't really know exactly uh why, but you know, Corpus Christi is right in the Gulf of Mexico. If you've ever been to Corpus Christi, you know, and right in front of his apartment is the Gulf. Um, could someone hit him with the car or maybe tried to mug him? Anything is possible. Whatever happened extremely fast. Very fast. Is it true that other students from the school were found in the water near the bridge? Not that I'm aware of. I haven't heard that. I mean, there's not there's there like there's no there's it's less than a foot of water. It's less than a foot of water. So they have searched everywhere.
Caleb's dad, Randy Harris, confident about Caleb coming home. We have two great guests to talk more about this case and the mystery surrounding it. I want to welcome in the chief of police at Talladega College. He's also retired homicide detective. You know him from Discovery ID show, Reasonable Doubt. He's also been on 48 Hour, the first 48 as well. Chief Chris Anderson is with us, and still with us, the host of the podcast Pretty Lies and Alibis, Gigi McKelvey. Okay, so before we start diving in really to the timeline of Caleb's disappearance, let's hear some more from his dad. In this clip you're about to hear, Randy Harris is talking about how things just do not add up here.
For us, it's his intentions. I mean, texting us, Snapchatting his friends. They had just gotten a new dog that evening, and they were out playing with the dog. Additionally, he had ordered from convenience store through Uber Eats his lunch for the next day.
Guys, that's please don't let a troll distract you. He wasn't. Yeah, there's no way.
Everything's planning. He's planning this. He's planning that. Signed the lease on his apartment for next year, and He's got a job in Alaska this summer, so he was looking really forward to going to Alaska. So if you put all that together, for him to disappear or vanish at that time frame in that time sequence nothing adds up.
I want to get both of your just initial thoughts on this case before we start digging into the new information we have on the timeline. Gigi, tell me what you're thinking about this one, please.
It's so bizarre. I mean, you obviously have somebody who didn't seem to have any kind of mental distress, was doing very normal things that night, was Snapchatting shortly before that phone went silent and just disappeared. Now, where he was last seen was right by a creek, if I understand it, but it wasn't flowing. So it doesn't seem like anything would happen in that creek where if he did have an accident, it doesn't seem like anything would be far away. They may have found something sooner. So it's just like he vanished into thin air, and that is every parent's worst nightmare.
It sure is, Gigi. You're right about that. Chief Anderson, to you next, please. Tell us your thoughts on this one.
Yeah, this is a strange and very concerning case, especially as a father. No parent ever wants to ever think about their child going missing, and especially when they've gone missing without a trace. So for me, but as an investigator, for me, I would look to everyone that's involved and the people in that surrounding area, because I've had cases where people didn't know what they knew. So if you were there in that area around about that time, it's probably a good time for you, a good opportunity for you to contact your local law enforcement, because you may have information that you didn't know was important.
Chief, that's such a great point. Thank you for that. I want to share with you both the new information we have that we've been able to put together to construct this timeline of all the details we have about Caleb's disappearance. So we know the night of Sunday, March the 3rd, he was at home playing video games. At 12:56 a.m. on, it would be Monday the 4th then, the doorbell camera video captures Harris playing with a puppy at his apartment's parking lot. 2:20 a.m., he tells his roommate he's staying up to order food. 2:44, shares a Snapchat video with his sister showing him walking that puppy. 3:03, Harris Snapchats of Harris.
Yeah, he was Snapchatting because his roommate had just gotten the puppy that day. And he was walking the puppy, and he was Snapchatting his sister.
Or Snapchats, rather, a photo showing a bridge over a drainage ditch near his apartment. Then at 3:12, Harris's phone shares location for the very last time. 3:20 a.m., the Uber Eats driver leaves the order outside of his apartment. 11 a.m., Harris's roommate finds the order still there outside of the apartment. Chief Anderson, what, if anything, jumps out to you as suspicious in this timeline?
We could say that him being out walking a dog at 2 a.m. is suspicious, but he's a young man. He's a college student.
Yeah, the puppy was returned. So he returned the puppy back to the apartment. Guess he came back out of the apartment, and that's it. That is it. Proud Mimi, thank you so much for becoming a member, my dear. I appreciate you. Welcome. You are now a Pearl. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. Yes, please hit that thumbs up if you don't mind. The Snapchat photo of the bridge is odd to me. Why take a picture of that? I think the bridge with the Snapchat was there. I don't think it was G just took a picture of the bridge. I think the bridge was kind of like he was around the bridge with the puppy. Thank you, Texas Mama 6.
But these are normal acts for a young man his age. So nothing really stands out, and that's extremely concerning. Now, the fact that his food is still there, that says a lot. That means that he probably never made it back to his home after walking that dog. So that timeline that you just produced is going to become extremely important in the search for him. because it shows several locations that where he was. You can go.
Thank you, Daily. Thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Thank you, my love. If you received one of those 5 memberships, please thank our sweet Daily. I appreciate you, Daily. Yeah, very, very strange.
Go back to those locations and see if there was anybody that may have saw anything or any evidence in that area. So that timeline is going to be critically important in a case like this.
Definitely, Chief. Thank you for that. Gigi, something that had me kind of scratching my head in the Snapchat, I get showing the puppy, the photo to the friend showing the bridge over a drainage ditch near his apartment at 303.
Okay.
I was kind of wondering why. Did that
Stand corrected then. I guess he took a picture of just the drainage ditch. Now I can tell you about that drainage, that ditch kind of thing. There is methane that comes out of that area, the drainage ditches and where that bridge is. There is methane that comes out of it, but still you would find him, right?
stand out at all to you? I'm just curious.
It did. And, that was a few hundred feet away from the apartment. So you have to wonder what was the point of going down there? But yeah, that's what stood out to me the most, other than the food being left on the porch, which indicated he never came home. But hopefully they're looking at surveillance to see if there's any cars that, come in the frame, and then you see them a short time after in that time frame speeding off. I mean, I'm sure they're looking at every single lead they can get. But yeah, that was the one thing that stood out, is the drainage ditch. I mean, it seems like it was not right beside the apartment. So there was a walk with purpose apparently to that area. So I think that's key too. That's something that I'm sure they're looking into.
Gigi, thank you for that. I've got another clip I'd love to play for you both from Randy Harris, Caleb's dad. And in this one, he's talking about who his son really is.
Who is he as a person?
Very, very black and white, very structured, like ordering his lunch, things like that. He's very predictable, fun, just smiling all the time. Just a lot of character. He's the kind of person that would just, stop and help people. If there's somebody's got a flat tire or whatever, he's going to stop and do whatever he can to help them.
Chief Anderson, if Caleb
We are buffering.
Harris is a good Samaritan kind of guy. Unfortunately, sometimes people, who are just good people, unsuspecting, innocent, can be preyed upon. Did your mind go there? I'm curious, as you were watching his dad.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, those. And I hate to say this because, look, we need good Samaritans in our society today. But at the same time, sometimes, especially in the hours of 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, those are the times where good Samaritans can be preyed upon. So, I would advise people to always use caution when you are being that good Samaritan, especially with hours that early, but in the morning or that late at night. So, yeah, those are the times where good Samaritans become victims, and especially in a case like this.
Chief, thank you for that. We sure hope that Caleb Harris can be found. We'll leave it there for now.
We will get to the Reddit theory. We'll get to that. I promise you that. So yeah, it's kind of perplexing. Now, I want to show you guys the video. Please don't tell me I just exited out of that. And I think I did. I want to show you guys the video of just hours before Caleb went missing. Hold on, I'm going to play something for you because I just exited out of it. I'm going to play this TikTok for you real quick while I pull that up.
mayor. Is it just me, or does it seem like a lot more things have been happening lately involving college students? New footage of Caleb has been released from a few hours before he disappeared. I'm going to give a timeline of the moments leading up to Caleb's disappearance. During an interview with Caleb's parents, they said on March 3rd, Sunday, the day before he disappeared, he had been fishing. Later on Sunday around 11 p.m., Caleb is known to have talked to a friend that lived in Colorado. At 11:53 p.m., Caleb sent a text and a picture to his mom, dad, and his uncle. Picture of the new dog, and the message said, "Jenny, like Forrest Gump, is the chillest dog ever. Not one peep yet. It's been 2 hours since it's been here, and it's eaten some eggs and sat in blank and blank's lap." Early into Monday morning on March 4th, he was seen on some sort of ring footage or something at 1 o'clock a.m. He is seen outside walking the new dog with his friend and his roommate. Here's a better image. Caleb ordered some Uber Eats and then he went to walk the dog. At 2:45 a.m., he sent this video to his sister. This is when things just get really weird because the dog was returned. It was found in the apartment the next morning by the roommates, but it's being said that the Uber Eats food was found outside on the porch and Caleb was nowhere to be found. Caleb's parents were able to retrieve his cell phone data through AT&T, and this is what they gathered. Okay, so right here is Caleb's apartments. Over there in those apartments is where Caleb lived. A Snapchat was sent to Caleb's friend at 3:03 a.m. from right around in this location right here. If you follow the water all the way down, which it is said that students would take this path, it will lead you to the area where Caleb's cell phone last pinged. This was at 3:12 a.m. and it was around this pain management center. Through phone records, they have indicated that his phone went off somewhere in this area. This is a street view of that area. So Caleb's roommate or roommates woke up on March 4th and realized that he was not there. It has since been determined that he left behind his wallet, his shoes, he was barefoot when he left, his keys, and his truck was locked. He did take his phone, obviously. His parents have recently put out a $25,000 reward for information about Caleb, but they said that the deadline on that reward is the 31st of this month. Family also said that they believe that Caleb may have been taken by someone or that he may have seen something that night that he should not have seen. They said that they are absolutely not giving up hope that they will be reunited with Caleb again. Police have searched over hundreds of acres and they even went into some of the vacant apartment complexes at the apartment that he lived at. They've talked to roommates, family, people that don't even live in Corpus Christi where he went, people back where he was from, near San Antonio, and they have just not had any luck, guys. If you could please share this video. If you see another video about this, share it. We need to get this out there. There is a GoFundMe. I'm going to link it in my bio. Caleb was last seen wearing teal pants and a white shirt and is believed to have been barefooted. Caleb's passion was fishing. He loved to fish. He hoped to become a game warden. I do want to also add that Caleb was used to being up that late. His parents said that he worked at a movie theater and he usually didn't even get home till around 2 a.m.
All right, so there is that. And I think I might have it here. There is, Ring doorbell that we have here of Caleb. I'm trying to get through this. I'm pretty sure this is it. Bear with me, y'all. I apologize. Okay, yeah, here we go.
Continues for missing Texas college student Caleb Harris, who was last seen in the early morning of March 4th. It's been going a month. The 21-year-old vanished from his off-campus housing, seen on a doorbell camera about 12:59 a.m., and then telling his roommates he was staying up to order food, sending Snapchats about 3 o'clock.
Now, why was he, was he just staying up to order food and take the dog out, or did he have something else planned? Was he meeting with someone for, you can meet with someone for different reasons in the middle of the night?
Food was delivered, but his roommates found it outside their door with no sign of Caleb or his cell phone. His family has doubled the reward to $50,000. For more information, Caleb's father, Randy Harris, and the family spokesperson, Tony Mathis, join us right now from Corpus Christi. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Randy, so your son ordered some food on Uber and it showed up and he was never there to pick it up, but his phone was pinging at about 3 o'clock. And then what happened?
At 2:44, he snapped a picture to my daughter of the new puppy they had gotten that night. It was his roommate's puppy, and ordered Uber Eats right after that.
This
just
is
a real
his father
typical,
talking.
Lunchables, apple pie, and Red Bull. They would normally go to school the next morning and then get out and go fishing, and that would be the fishing lunch.
Right.
But his phone quit or was turned off at 2:58 a.m.
And I know that it sounds like the authorities have cleared the roommates and they've cleared the Uber driver of being
Absolutely 100%.
And they've cleared the Uber driver as well. So have they found the phone? Do they know where his keys are, his vehicle, stuff like that?
Have not found the phone. That seems to be the only item that we're missing. We have his keys, we have his truck locked. The dog's back.
Now the phone was shut off, they think, on down the street, but it's hard to pinpoint a precise location because of it depends on how far it is away from the tower and stuff. So
In the apartment.
very shortly after.
There's nothing else missing.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got his
Texas.
iWatch, his iPad,
Corpus Christi.
his MacBook. Everything is, in the apartment. The best we can tell, what you see in that video there, and maybe a cell phone. That's it.
Yeah.
And we have not found.
And Randy, I know your wife and your daughter have been involved in the search as well there in Corpus Christi. Tony, you're encouraging people to check their surveillance doorbells, see if they might possibly have video of Caleb that night, right?
Now this is the
Yeah, that's correct. I
doorbell.
mean, it's
I'll show you closer.
2024, and I mean, the odds of somebody disappearing without a trace and nobody knowing anything is slim to none. So we just feel like the word hasn't got out to enough people, and we do believe somebody knows something. And
Right.
try to put yourself in this family's situation. If it were your son or brother that was missing, what would you want people in the community to do?
Absolutely. Well put. And Randy, I understand Gabby Petito's parents reached out to you.
We actually reached out to and spoke to Joe, and just to kind of get some help. He was wonderful to talk to us, and he'll give us some advice, and he just left us an open line to talk to him as well.
Okay. I know you don't know where he is, and that's why you're putting out the word. Tell us a little bit about Caleb before we go.
That's a long story. He's a great kid from a young age. Loves the outdoors. Getting an environmental science degree. Wants to work in the industry somewhere. Maybe as a game warden or something in that along those lines, or something else. 100% preparing for life. I mean, signed his lease, was getting ready to go fishing the next day. He was texting me up until 10 o'clock, pictures of fishing lures that he was going to be using the next day. And we text back and forth, fun, videos. He had just seen his mom Friday and Saturday.
The dog was in the apartment, and the Red Bull, it was for the night before. Sorry, for the next day, rather, I meant. The Red Bull and stuff, it was for his lunch, breakfast, if you will, the next day when he was planning on going fishing.
She came down just to hang out with him and his roommates. And, just an all-around 21-year-old college student that just loves life.
Yeah, he sounds like a great kid.
He is.
Folks have just seen his images. If you've got more information, contact the local police, or particularly there in Corpus Christi. If you have more information, call that number 361-826-2950. Randy and Tony, thank you very much for joining us.
All right, now I'm going to show you the video that's more up close so we can view that. Credit goes to KIII3 News. Drop their link here. There we go. All right, this was just hours before he went missing.
Take a look here. Caleb can be seen in the parking lot at his off-campus apartment complex off of Ennis Jocelyn around
Right here,
1 a.m.
in the hat.
He was with one of his roommates, a friend outside playing with a dog. Caleb's face visible as he looked toward the Ring camera before they make their way back in the other direction on that night in early March.
And the search for Caleb Harris now in its third week. Just yesterday, his parents offering a reward of $25,000 for his safe return.
I mean, look at this. Everything looks fine here.
Caleb
I'm
can
going
be
to slow
seen
it
in the
down.
parking lot at his off-campus apartment complex off of Ennis Johnson around 1 a.m.
I'm going to slow it down. But look, he looks happy. Looks like everything is good. Picking up, his friends picking up the puppy. Absolutely nothing. They have issued so many search warrants on cell phones, everything that you can think of. Yes, the puppy made it back to the apartment. I guess he took it back. It was back in the apartment. The driver, who was a female, is absolutely cleared. Nothing with the Uber driver. Yes. And he walks back out and he goes missing. Now, and he was barefooted. Yes, he was barefoot. Yes, he was barefoot. Let me show you where we're at. Thank you, my love, for gifting a membership. It's so good to see you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Whoever received that membership, please thank Janier. Thank you so much, my dear. Janine, sorry. Janine, sorry. I said Janier. I saw the R. Thank you, Janine. Appreciate you. If you received that, please thank our sweet Janine. Caleb is only 21 years young. Just starting out. Could it maybe someone very interested in him romantically and he wasn't interested, and maybe this person became over obsessed with him, where there possibly had been stalking him? I mean, at this point, anything is possible. Anything is possible. Justin, do you believe in card readings and spirit box sessions? Do I personally believe in it? No. But I don't, knock anybody who does. If that's what you believe in, I support you. Thank you, Daily, so much for gifting one membership. I appreciate you, my love. Thank you. And I'll just tell you this. I personally don't believe in it when it comes to a missing person, and I know I might get some flack for that, but these are real human lives. I mean, it's okay to check on some things that maybe the cards or the spirit box, I guess, tells you. But it's good to, I have no problem. We should check on it. Nothing can be, but everyone has their own thing, and if that's something works for you, then that's absolutely great. Going to go to Google Earth now, and this is the bridge that we are talking about. Caleb's apartment's over here. He lives in this complex right here. I think he lives in one of these. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, I'm pretty sure. My computer is slow as hell today. All right. So I'm going to show you the bridge. I think this. Am I going there? I might be going there. Yeah. Yeah. So I believe this is the bridge. And there's like, no, I don't think this is. Did somebody blur this? Why did somebody blur it? Hold on, I might have the wrong bridge. Let me make sure. There's a park close to his apartment. Let me go back here. Yeah, and you see how, hold on. You see how you see these waterways here? I guess methane comes out of it, but see, here's the Gulf of Mexico. Right? It's like right outside this way. And how does one go missing? I have 3 sons. These cases have me. So yeah, we don't know if it's true or not. Yeah, we're gonna get into the Reddit. This is Corpus Christi. In just a second. This is the Reddit is just came out in the last few days. And I guess he was just walking along this area. And over here is the Gulf. It's probably not, I don't think it would be too busy at 2:00 in the morning, but Corpus Christi is absolutely filled with cameras. If you've ever been to Corpus Christi, it's a very nice city. Hold on, someone's messaging me. Okay, thank you for that. Sorry, I need to open these. There is a Caleb Harris group. I'll show you guys that. I wonder if something happened and drove by. Well, he was taken out of there somehow. He had to have been taken out of there. This place has been searched over left and right. Daily, thank you so much for gifting 2 more memberships. That is so generous of you. Thank you, my love. This is the Shores Apartments where he lived. This Daily is awesome. Every time I hear Corpus Christi, I think about Selena. Yeah, Selena went missing in the Days Inn, Corpus Christi. So, I mean, there's, you walk out of here, and he had to go left to the bridge right down there. He was walking right along here. Okay. Now let me show you the group here. 3 game warden trucks parked at the curb in King's Crossing. they're searching for something in a wooded area. Oh, that's interesting. In the group, they just said that. Hopefully the family gets some answers. It's really time for the families to get answers. All right. Has the area been searched? I know with the Reddit account theory has jogging area, but this area has been far more likely in easy access in a vacant courts as well as place. So let me show you. There's a couple. This is the missing Caleb Harris discussion. It's got 9.6 thousand followers. Heard 5 guys are missing. I would like to. All right. So the Reddit theory, it's extremely new. Like, I think it just came out in the last couple days. And it is more or less that, which I didn't even know this happened, like I didn't know Reddit. It's a Reddit. I guess Reddit has dating, if you will, and they're alleging that Caleb may, if anyone knows about this in chat, let me know. Reddit has dating, and they're saying that allegedly Caleb had a secret account that he may have been talking to someone locally. All right. In a YouTube video, a creator discussed possible new leads. See if you can see this. It's speculated that Caleb had a secret Reddit account where he frequently asked for quick hookups with strangers, both men and women. It allegedly identified as his account by the info in his post and a bracelet he always wore that was visible in a picture on the account. Going by the last post, an hour before he went missing, it's thought that he may have had a secret meetup with someone that had ill intentions. It's speculated that he wouldn't have wanted to be picked up at home and wouldn't have told his friends because of shame and stigma. He may have been picked up by a car near the Foggy Bridge and shut off his phone so nobody would discover his location. Him being barefoot has explained by his dad, saying that he used to walk barefooted all the time as a fisherman. His dad also confirmed the law enforcement knew about this account. P.S. Hookups are nothing to shame people for, and Caleb is not responsible for any actions of others that may have led to his disappearance. So now, so apparently, if his father is saying that this is his account, then he perhaps could have met someone, but I would have thought, and I would say that law enforcement, if they knew about this account, they pretty much probably looked over this account, and to see if he spoke with anyone. Now, people hook up all the time, right? Um, but sometimes, especially for anyone of the LGBTQ plus community, it can be even more dangerous because sometimes you can meet someone who actually, I'm not saying this happened, but I'm just saying that they may act like they're interested, but actually don't care for your type of people. And it's like a, kind of like a catfish thing, but for violent reasons, right? A hate crime. So hopefully nothing like that happened. But, it would make sense that they could rob you, absolutely. It does make sense as far as that could be why he was already down at the bridge. He wanted to meet up with someone for a little bit. Didn't want his roommates or anyone else seeing him, and they did something. And Caleb is a good young man, and whatever we learn happens to him should not have happened. He should not be missing. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. Why order food though? It's going to get cold. Yeah, it is. But it sounded like he was having a night, he ordered Red Bull and had all that delivered as well. Had his food delivered. I mean, you can reheat it, obviously. And yes, that's right. The food was for the fishing trip for the next day. The food, the Red Bull, and all that was all for the next day. That's right. I knew the Red Bull and stuff was, but the food. Um, Daily, thank you so much for gifting another membership, my love. I appreciate you. So kind of you. Thank you, love. If you receive that membership, please thank our beloved Daily in here. It was, yeah, the snacks and the Red Bull and the food was for the next day. Was the snacks at lunch? Yeah. Yes, there is. I mean, he has been missing over a month now and still nothing. But hopefully things are starting to heat up. Someone posted in the group just a little bit ago. It said 3 game warden trucks parked on a curb on King's Crossing, OSO area. They're searching for something in a wooded area near OSO Creek, which I don't know how far that is, but I would think that if sorry, I was reading something. I would think that if it was close, they would have found him in any of those areas by now. There is a interview with his father who has the most faith of any man. I'm telling you, just a good these these ads are loud as hell. I'm gonna find that.
An update on their continued efforts on the search for missing A&M Corpus Christi student Caleb Harris. The 21-year-old vanishing seemingly without a trace the early hours of March 4th.
Now, since then, countless hours and resources have gone into finding Caleb, both from law enforcement and volunteers. And now police are giving an official timeline of events that led up to his disappearance.
Our Bill Churchwell also sitting down for a one-on-one interview with Assistant Chief Todd Green this afternoon. So, Bill, what were you able to discuss with police tonight?
And police, they want the community to know they are still very active in this investigation. Chief Green telling me that most of it now is behind the scenes work, looking at digital data, computer examinations, things of that nature. And while social media can be a great tool for tips and information, it can be a double-edged sword. Here's part of that interview. I spoke with Caleb's dad by phone. He told me that he was 100% confident in CCPD and what you're doing to find his son. One thing that did concern him was all of the social media chatter out there, the disinformation that folks might be spreading, the allegations that folks might be spreading.
Unfortunately, we can't tell the public everything that we know in this investigation. It just doesn't work that way. We're not able to be completely transparent and share everything that we.
Guys, this law enforcement have shared a hell of a lot more than Tennessee ever would, and they are fantastic. Julie, thank you so much for your super sticker, my love. I really do appreciate that. Thank you. I really do appreciate your support, my friend. So yeah, you know, someone on that dating Reddit may have information, but it feels like it might have been leaked.
We know, but we can very confidently say we have ruled out the roommates as having anything to do with this disappearance. His friends that he was communicating with that night over social media, we've ruled them out. We've ruled out the Uber driver that made the delivery. We have investigated very thoroughly.
You see how nice it is? They say, we've ruled this person out. We've ruled that person out. Isn't it nice to hear that? Isn't it nice to just say, hey, you know what? We've ruled that person out. Leave them alone. Right? We've ruled that person out. Take a hint, Tennessee. There was a roommate friend visiting from San Antonio, and I think they left the next day. Yeah, the friend from San Antonio, it's not even a concern. Not even a concern. The time matched perfectly from what they said, the authorities said, so I don't even think that. Oh, Bees, thank you so much, my dear. I appreciate you so much, Bees. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships, my love. That is so kind to you. You guys have gifted some memberships. We need to do an approval process, so or an application process. So let's go ahead and do that. I haven't done it yet.
This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 express train. The next stop
On the
is
train.
Fulton Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
To the lesser fight, my body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes.
All right, so we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 14, 15, 16 new members so far on this live, and you are approved, Pearls. Thank you guys so much. And if you guys received a membership, please thank Darcy, Daly, Janine, and Bees. Thank you so much, my loves. I really, really do appreciate your support. All right. Let's continue with this.
All of those individuals, we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't look at that possibility.
Just part of that interview there. And you might recall the family is offering a $25,000 reward for information that leads to finding their son. There is a tip line, that number 361-826-2950. It goes directly to police. The deadline to call in tips is March 31st. Now, police followed up so far on 14 Crime Stopper tips, 31 tip line calls, and several others from various sources. I am working overtime on this story tonight, and I'll have my full report coming up on 3 News at.
They have done so many warrants. So many warrants. The cottage apartments. Got you. Okay. Now, their Court TV just dropped a brand spanking new piece on Caleb Harris. We'll watch it here in just a moment. But yeah, I mean, it's, something's got to give. I fear he may certainly well be. Oh, thank you, Smiling Sleuth. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. That was March 28th. Sorry, I've got to wait for this commercial to go through, and then we'll pop it up here. I think I played that one already. I went to see if it was done playing, but if I don't keep it on the screen, then it won't go through. Okay, here we go. Almost done. Yeah, the family needs your prayers for sure.
College student Caleb
Hold on. Is this
House. We're talking about March.
Here we go.
Could we start at Texas A&M Corpus Christi when he disappeared from his apartment 1 month ago? Locals are saying that they're praying for his safe return. Scripps News, Corpus Christi was there at last week's vigil.
That happened in Corpus really did touch my heart because I know I can do something about it because I'm actually here.
It's now been a month since Caleb Harris disappeared from his apartment on Ennis Jocelyn Road, but the community certainly hasn't forgotten. Aliana Garcia saw that a prayer vigil was happening in New Braunfels for Harris, and they asked on Facebook for one in Corpus Christi. Without any connection to Harris, Garcia took it upon herself to gather everyone for prayer.
Amazing grace. I know that people do care. People do care. They might not all know him, but they're here to support the family and him and pray for his return home.
Corpus Christi police released a timeline of 21-year-old Harris's last known location. No one has seen him since a Snapchat he sent just after 3 a.m. on March 4th. There have been many search efforts by police and volunteers since then. Many people who don't even know Harris, and that's the case for most of the people that gathered at the prayer vigil.
I want to come and show what I can, do what I can. Even being here counts. Praying counts, showing some love to the family, praying for them.
Fabian Charles is one of the attendees. He feels connected to the situation because he's close in age to Harris.
I don't want to walk. I don't want to ride my scooter one day and the next thing I'm next. I don't want it to be my neighbor. I don't want it to be a family. I don't want to be my girlfriend's family. You wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy.
Searches continue in the area around Harris's apartment, the cottages. Garcia says she still searches on her own when she can.
I would like for his parents to know that Corpus is with them. Corpus's hearts are all with them, and to not give up and don't give up hope.
We are all hoping and praying for Caleb Harris's safe return. And this morning, we have a very special guest joining us on the program. Caleb's dad, Randy Harris, is joining us. Randy, good morning to you. And first, let me just start by saying just our heartfelt, sentiments we want to share with you, how all of our Court TV viewing audience is hoping and praying that your son is found safe and can be brought home to you very soon. Could we start with some of the last things we know that Caleb...
Hold on. I didn't think that looked like the right bridge earlier. Okay. I'll show you guys here in just a second.
Was doing and really try to go back to those moments in time and see if there's anything there. We put together a timeline, Randy. We shared it on Friday of Caleb's disappearance and the last things he was known to be doing. We know he was at his house. We're talking about March the 3rd going into March the 4th playing video games. We know that he was Snapchatting him with a puppy dog. And Randy, I've seen some conflicting reporting about this. Who does the puppy belong to?
It's actually his roommates, but it was going to be kind of their dog, to share at the apartment and do some, just have a little community dog.
Sure. And we know one of the last snaps that he sent was a picture of the puppy, and he sent it to your daughter. And so we know this was around 2:44 a.m. It looks like he's got the puppy in the park.
Hold on. I was too far down. This is where we're looking at right here. He lives. Let me show you this. This is where 1938 is. And this is the bridge. I knew it was bigger than that. This is where. So it's a much bigger bridge. Oh. Here we go. And they say methane comes out of here. I mean, I don't think he would have gotten in the swamp or anything. Do you? Is that possible? You think? I don't know about the roommate was asleep when the puppy. They are cleared. Roommates are cleared. Okay, that's the wrong bridge too. Okay. The bridge doesn't have a lot of water, does it? I remember that. I can't even remember. 1938. But which bridge is it? Hold on, let me find the bridge. 1 second. Let me play this. I'll find it.
Parking lot. Randy, do we know, did Caleb return the puppy then to the apartment to his roommate?
Yes, the puppy was back in the apartment.
Okay. And do you know if the roommate saw Caleb when he brought the dog back in?
No, he was asleep.
Okay. So that's what makes this really tough. I know that his roommate knew that he was going to be ordering from Uber Eats, and we know that he left the order behind. And so presumably his roommate's sleeping throughout this time. Randy, there was something that jumped out to me the most from the Snapchats, and I would love to know what you make of it. Caleb's Snapchat showed that he sent a picture of a bridge over a drainage ditch near the apartment, and this was at 3:03 a.m. Any idea what that could be about?
Yeah, that's what I've got.
No, not really. And we, the timeline is best that we know it and what the law enforcement has put together. Forensics wise, we're not, it's not 100% that it was at that time, but there's something around that time, and it actually even delayed even getting to his friends. So not 100% sure or why. We just don't know.
Right. Yeah, that is such a mystery. The puppy, I think we all get cute puppy pictures, why those would be sent, but the drainage ditch just seems a little weird. And that being said, we know it wasn't long after that, it was around 3:20 a.m. that Caleb's phone no longer starts pinging on any cell towers. I'm sorry, 3:12 a.m. Forgive me. It was at 3:20 that the Uber Eats order was dropped off. So 3:12, last known phone activity, 3:20 when the deliveries dropped. So we have just a short window there. Randy, your best educated guess, gut feeling, thoughts on what you think
I don't know
may
what I
have
was
happened
thinking. Sorry,
with
I don't.
Caleb.
Of course, we don't know. And actually, the phone was turned off or went dead at 12:58. I'm sorry, excuse me, 2:58. So as far as the additional pings and things like that, it could just be anomalies. We really don't know. But it did go,
I don't know what the hell I was thinking. There's so many swamps, like little creeks here. All right, so this is where Caleb lived. It's called the Cottages at Corpus Christi, and he lived in, I believe it was one of these right here. I believe it was one of these right here. All right, now here is the little bridge. This is the bridge. And as you see here, he would have walked out right here. He was walking the dog, and there's just this little, well, I already passed it. This little bridge. And it's got more water in it here, but at the time he went missing, there was no water. I mean, less than a foot. Less than a foot. I know people speculated alligators and stuff, but there's not that many alligators. There's not that many alligators in this area. Yeah, storm ditch. Storm ditch. I mean, this is all it is. Right? Now this might be a good place to meet somebody, right? Hey, you know, you don't want your roommates or anybody to see. I'll be right there standing at the bridge. I mean, I don't think a gator. I mean, yeah, it's late. I mean, gators can cross the road and stuff, but usually they're more scared to see you than you are them. Yeah. A gator is like the last thing. Humans are much more dangerous than gators ever would be. Sounds like maybe a last minute meetup. Maybe the pick of the storm drain is where he was having someone meet him. Sounds odd. Perhaps. Perhaps. Yeah. He'd have to be in water or close. Yeah. So, that's really all it is. And, there's sidewalks that goes right along. I mean, this is not a populated area. There's street lights. So you can see at night. This is the bus stop. I don't think it can go in there. Yeah. But he lived in one of these three, I'm pretty sure. There's the Oaks. No, this is right off A&M Corpus Christi. And a lot of students live here. Walking the dog. The dog needs grassy areas too early. Maybe he went off the sidewalk. I mean, perhaps, but the dog made it back, and the dog is back, and he didn't. I mean, there's a gate right here, right? Gate. You see, even scooters, students ride, and he's probably just came out this gate, and there's all kinds of grass areas here for the dog, and here's the bridge. It's like right beside of it. Yeah, I mean, there are gators in Texas, but it's it's not really. It's not Florida by any means. I think it may. Yeah, it could have been something like that, or he could have, been meeting something for. He could have been doing nothing, right? It could have been wrong person. They thought it was the wrong person. It could have been they saw him and they took him for whatever reason. People don't have to have a reason necessarily. Some people are just freaking evil. Drew K, thank you so much for gifting the one membership. I appreciate you. And Tracy, welcome to the family, my love. Appreciate your support. Thank you both so much. Thank you, Tracy. And if you received your gift from Drew, please thank our sweet Drew. Thank you so much for your support. Yeah, wrong place, wrong time. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, people are just freaking evil. Some people, they just want to, yeah, just a random act. But whatever happened, whether this was willingly, he got in a car with someone. Oh, Summer's God, that's okay if you can't afford a membership, honey. Just being here, seeing these cases, hitting the thumbs up. Thank you for your support. I really appreciate you just being here, dear. Thank you. Um, so he could have gotten a car with someone, but if not, and it was against his will, he's not there. Yeah, and he's a very attractive young man. Um, yeah, yes, exactly 100. So many questions in this case. Absolutely. Thank you, Tracy. Oh, Shelby, don't say that. You are beautiful. Don't you say that. Maybe he has done this a ton of times. Yeah, I mean, people have so many motives to do whatever's going inside of their little crooked head right there. Weird that he took the dog back and came out and took a pic. The thing, I mean, that's what makes me think that I feel like he was meeting someone, but that's just my feeling. That doesn't mean that, you know, like why go back out just to take a picture? Now, it was foggy that night. He's Mr. Yeah. Yeah. Most alligators are freshwater. Yeah. I don't even know. Do we have saltwater crocodiles? Like, I know there's saltwater crocodiles, but are they in America? I don't know. If the erratic count is his, he had created it in January of this year. Oh, thank you, Daily. You are so good to me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you, Daily. You are so kind. God bless you. If you received one of the memberships from Daily, please give her a big thanks. Did he have a regular girlfriend, possibly meeting a girl? So I don't know. He wasn't dating. He was not dating anyone when he went missing. No, he wasn't dating anyone. It was just you know, if he he hung out, as the cool kids say these days. So yeah, dad said he didn't have a girlfriend. Yeah, India, Asia, and Australia. I didn't think we had him in America. I missed the crocodile hunter. God bless Steve Irwin. Only in Florida do we have crocs, but I think it would be unlikely. Yeah, yeah, it would definitely be unlikely for a saltwater croc since they're in Asia and India. You know, Miranda's comment. Let me go back up. Yeah, we need more people on this. We've obviously been talking about. I don't see it, Miranda. Okay, we've obviously been talking about a bunch of Sebastian, but this case needs, people talking about it too. Justin, I think the picture was taken to send to whomever was going. Oh, interesting. That's a good point. So they know where he was going to be waiting for them at. I've done it a million times and still do. He sent that to his sister, though, didn't he? But can you send? I don't do Snapchat. But yeah. That's still a good, that's still a good, we don't know what someone's reasoning is. I never saw a crocodile in Galveston and grip swimming there. Yeah. It's extremely rare. I mean, most of my family's in Texas, in Central and South Texas, and I lived in San Antonio for a few months of my life, and I never seen a alligator or crocodile. Wonder if he sent his sister by mistake. I mean, potentially. I sent a text message this morning by mistake. I see you's like, what does this mean? I'm like, oh, sorry, wrong person. Alligators can also live. So, yeah. But regardless, I don't think alligators have anything to do with it, really. Hey, Lily, what's the difference between alligator and crocodile? One you see later and one you see after a while. Lily. He is into the environment. Could have been taking a picture of methane gas fog for school. I don't know. I know they do say methane comes from, I guess the bridge. Not sure if he mentioned it, but someone mentioned post to the Reddit account he had. Post hinted to meet up with a guy. Yeah. Yeah, I mean he walking. Yeah, he sent him walking with his sister. Yeah. But who did he send the picture to the bridge to? Was that to a sister as well? Yes, Hilton Head, Myrtle Beach, and all that area. They got so many alligators. Justin, I'm heading to Texas now. Well, be safe, Lake Erie. Have fun, but be safe. Could have done Snapchat open, and when he dropped the phone, it took the. I don't know. It's money I earn grooming. What does that mean, daily? That doesn't sound right. You got your wish. Oh, that's awesome. Summer Sky. You got your wish after all. You got one of the memberships. See? See? You said you sorry you couldn't get a membership, and I said, don't worry about it. Just appreciate you being here. And you know what? Daily bought some memberships. God gave you a membership. Isn't that awesome? Reddit, not a guy, a girl. Well, it doesn't, I mean, so to me, honestly, I would think, I mean, just theory here. If he was meeting with a guy, that would be more dangerous, in my opinion. If he was meeting with a girl, it's less likely for something to happen, unless she was setting him up for something. But he didn't send a video or picture to his. Justin, didn't he send a video or a picture to his dad and someone else of the dog? Well, yeah, he sent it to his sister. Then he could have easily sent it to his. Perhaps. You petted a gator last month. I fed it some treats. He sent the bridge pic to a friend who doesn't regularly communicate with somewhere else. Okay. So, this is just so bizarre. It's so bizarre. Yeah, his sister. Seldom saw Crocs. Yes. Yeah. Paul Jones Avenue, go west. It's scary how they have open sewers there. Ugh. A gator in Tennessee. Oh, was someone's pet. Oh yeah, I mean, thank you, Charlotte. Thank you so much. I mean, there's gators. Gators can live, anywhere really. While it's cold, they just go hibernate. People buy these little alligators when they're small, and then by the time they're, a year or two old, they get too big, and then what else can they do? They need to give it to some type of wildlife or a zoo or something. But, they're not for pets. Walking the dog too. Not the one with his friends. Sister just got a short video of Kayla. Where is that at? Optics, if you don't mind. My best friend grooms dogs. I know what you meant. I didn't know you did that daily. Justin should record bedtime stories. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I hate my voice. I mean, I'm thankful, Lord, for my voice, but if I could change anything on me, it would be my voice. But if he sent it to her by accident, it may be the man of undoing. True, Miranda. True. Like the bridge guy photo Delph. Ooh, that is kind of weird, isn't it, Microdot? Remember, yeah, how she took the picture on the Delphi Bridge, the girls, and like he's Snapchatting at this little bridge. So bizarre. We had a gator roaming around in Massachusetts last summer because someone had it for, oh my God, Andy. Like someone calling him over. I mean, his dad said, he's the type that if my phone is going bizarre. His dad said, if someone got like a flat tire or anything, thank you, Kat. He would be the type that would help anyone at 2:00 in the morning, and that can go either way. Oh, thank you guys. My voice. Ugh. Okay. Now, let's finish this interview with Caleb's dad here. This man has so much faith. God bless him.
It was turned off on every device we can find. The last, ping or whatever you want to call it, the phone was off at 2:58. What happened? We really don't know. That's part of it's hard for us to understand is we just don't know. There's no evidence of anything, as well as he just basically vanished, and that's the hard part. We don't know if he was coerced into getting into a vehicle or forced into a vehicle, or we just don't know, and we don't have any timeline cameras after that, so that we know of. Of course, the law enforcement is doing a phenomenal job, and they're working very, very hard.
Randy, my heart breaks for you as you're sharing this because, like you said, it's like he vanished, but people don't just vanish. There's a reason. Something had to have happened.
Right.
I'm curious, did Caleb have a set routine, a certain time that he would always be out walking the dog, or a certain pattern that somebody, who may, God forbid, have wanted to do him harm could have picked up on?
You got us banned from being room parents? I have never been more in love with you.
1 second, please. I'm trying to find if someone has that new video, they can text me it to this number. If they have that new video that's supposed to be, I think I might have it. I don't know.
Let's gear up.
Another 30-second. I'm telling you, all these cases, people just vanishing, are making me believe aliens more and more. Well, it's... Hey, Zig. Oh, thank you, V. You're very sweet. You're very, very kind. Thank you, dear. There's a new TikTok. That doesn't show me anything. Okay, here we go.
Being out that late with a brand new dog, they had just gotten a dog like at 10:15, 10:30 that night. So that's why they were out. There's a video at 1:00, with his roommate, another friend. They were out playing with the dog. Best we know, take the dog out, come back, and order Uber Eats, leave the dog, and then maybe went outside to wait for his order. I mean, he's an outdoors guy, but he wouldn't go walking at that time of night, especially outside the complex.
Sure. And Randy, I wanted to ask you about that, please. As we understand, there's a bay a couple thousand feet away from where the apartment complex is located. I'm sure this, has been discussed with you. Investigators, are looking in that area. Do you think the bay could be key to this? Would there be any reason he would go near the bay?
That particular bay, a lot of people say, well, maybe he went fishing or whatever. He would never do that. One, he always goes with a roommate or a buddy. That particular bay is Oso Bay, not a place he would normally fish at all. It's just not a great place to go fishing. He would normally go out on the island, out by Mustang Island or North Padre Island. He had 3 to 4 definite fishing spots that he would really work hard at and knows those spots really, really well, and so do we. So for him to go to Oso Bay to do something would be very, very rare. And
Fuzza, thank you so much. My God, thank you so much for gifting 10 memberships. That is so kind of you. If you received a membership, thank our beloved Fuzza. Thank you so much.
This is a Brooklyn-bound 2 express train. The next
Get on the
stop
train.
is
We're going to
Fulton
Texas.
Street.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Oh, that's sweet, Sam.
To the lesser fight, my body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes and goes. My weakness comes and goes.
Wow, we have 15, 16 new members because of Fuzza and Daily. Thank you guys so very much. I can't thank you so very much. And yes, approved. Thank you for your application. And thank you, Fuzza, Daily, Drew, Bees, Daily, Janine, Proud, Mimi, and Darcy. Thank y'all so very much. So sweet of you. It says it's headed to Brooklyn. We're making a U-turn and we're going south. Buckle up, buttercups. How do you get a membership? Make sure your membership gifts are turned on. Hey, Shelby, you're on it. Seatbelt on. Seatbelt on. They said it was a new video that was out, but I'm trying to. Oh, here's what Nancy Grace thinks. By the way, Nancy does not believe Caleb Harris disappeared willingly. That's for sure.
Way into the fog. We wonder why. That's not what happened here. He didn't just walk away. Think about it, Dr. Jeff. Somebody doesn't order their DoorDash or their Uber Eats and just decide, hey, I'm going to walk out into nowhere. That didn't happen. He was excited about fishing the next morning, about his plans to move to Colorado for a job over the summer. I mean, look at this guy. No sign ever of depression, of any kind of emotional problem, great grades, just living the life, doctor, living the life. Look at him there, out hiking. This guy did not disappear on his own. I would stake everything on it.
Yeah.
Tonight we are hearing.
Trust me, he would never. He's just not the type that's ever going to do this. Yeah, it is a lottery. It selects members at random. I've heard that it depends how much you engage in the chats. If you engage a lot, I could be completely wrong, but it goes by like engagement from what I've heard. I could be wrong. Yeah, he had plans the next day. He was going fishing and he really planned his trips. Really planned his trips. Food is my only reason for living. Yeah, participation is huge. Yeah. Bobby says exactly. Why would he order food to be delivered and arrange? Well, I mean, the food was for the next day, Bobby. So whenever he was going fishing the next day, it sounded like he was going to need some Red Bull, because he was up really late. I don't know. We're talking up 2 and 3 in the morning here. So if it's 2 or 3 in the morning, you know, when was he actually planning on going to bed? Because he said he was going to stay up late. Yeah. Yeah, Shannon. I heard there was a wreck. He might have went to the accident. I don't know, but I know if Caleb can be found, this police department will find him. And I do believe they're going to find him. I think that there's going to be something that breaks soon. I know, Francis. It's insane. Could something happen in the parking lot? He should have not have a witness. Absolutely, there could have been a deal. There could have been something else that happened in the parking lot. He maybe wasn't supposed to see something. You know, nowadays you just look at somebody the wrong way and they'll pop you. You know what I mean? You just look at someone, people are loco. You know, so many people are on really hard drugs. There was an accident and the guy who was filming said something out of the ordinary. 3 cars is what I heard was an accident. Why does nobody wear shoes anymore? You know, it's crazy, Shelby, how many cases we hear with nobody wearing shoes. You know, we've got Caleb, Sebastian, Summer, you know, just so many that don't have shoes on. Some vehicles, if they're parked and someone gets close to them, it trips. Yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of like Teslas, when you get close, a video, it records you if you're close to it. Caleb is only 21V, only 21. I had no sense as a young person, got in the cars with strangers. Wow. Absolutely. Someone knows something. Since a Ring camera had him on camera when he was at his friends were walking the dog, why wasn't he picked up on the Ring camera when he went back inside? I don't know where that Ring doorbell came from. That's a good question, though. This is the first time I've talked about this case, so I'm learning with y'all. Went out to the apartment for some reason, which is why the food was, yeah, yeah. The driver just left it at the door. Yeah, Roxy, absolutely. Absolutely. There are a couple search groups. Let me or not search groups, Facebook groups. What's that? I played around with the photo and you can see 2 faces behind the driver. The pics looks eerie. What's that? I saw this on Reddit, but I don't understand what it means. Digging never-ending holes to the darkness of self-destruction. Caleb Harris. I never understood what that meant. A photo was taken from the Reddit account. One photo is a known photo of Caleb. If you see something, say something. If you don't, you don't. One photo was taken indoors in February, winter, the other outdoors. Unknown what time, different skin tone, different lighting into it. I wonder if there was any buses. Okay, this was the photo that he took at night. Make it bigger for y'all. Yeah, Babs. I did see JLR. He was at, I guess he went by the Yogi Bear campground, and the RV was still there. Their vehicles were still there. They're doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. Chris and Katie, regarding the Sebastian Rogers case, they are doing zero. Zip, nada, zilch. Hey, Pickle Toes. The Ring camera picked them walking between two cars and turning around to go back to their apartment. Friend picked up the puppy. There were 3 persons in video. Yes. Someone said something about 2 lights and that you could see 2 lights. Is there any proof that Chris Proudfoot was at the RV or work either on the 24th or 25th into the 26th of February, which would be 24th, which would be Saturday, Sunday, Monday? Only law enforcement, Chris, and Katie know that, and his work. Now, thank you, Marilyn. Didn't Seth say that he was allegedly home the day before? Or was it Saturday? If I remember correctly. Yeah, HIPAA violation. Hold on. I think Sebastian case is laying low. She will crack. I don't think she'll crack. I don't think she's going to crack. I think that if nothing happens in the next 2 weeks related to the Sebastian case, if law enforcement doesn't give us a press conference in the next 2 weeks, or if there's not an arrest in the next 2 weeks, then they are stumped on something, in my opinion. As long as they're together, she won't crack. Yep. Too many people going missing, and we're not even halfway through the year. UK based, it has been one after the other. It's like, God, man. And for a while there was like, there were people going missing. 1 second. I know all these HIPAA violations, but for a while it was kind of calm, but lately it's just been like so many people, like so many. only going to get worse, I'm afraid. I hope not. People need to chill out. But we're in, I think when the elections happen, when we're in an election year, especially the closer we get, I think things get crazier. Some people just lose their minds and they're like stressed more or something. I don't know. Everyone has an opinion, Second Amendment right. Absolutely. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. You are allowed to think the way you think, believe the way you believe. Always late. Nothing as of when I started this live. Yeah, buckle up. Blessed Mom, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you, my love. I really do appreciate it. That means so much to me. Welcome. You are now a pearl. Thank you so much, my love. Appreciate it. KP is weak, brainwashed, is terrified of losing her man so much so that she sacrificed her precious son. I would hate to think that this is premeditated. I know that there are people that truly do, but if this is premeditated, that'll be even worse. Even worse. Why are you embarrassed, Diane? In their 20s, but no. You can catch the Alaska Ferry and run year-round Seattle to 30 ports to Alaska. Yeah, I don't buy the Alaska thing at all when it comes to Sebastian. He is a planner. And we do know that he was talking to Chris was talking to Seth and about Sebastian moving in with him. Was it not fast enough for Chris, or was Chris just up to here, which is probably not hard to get him to do because he's so, and he snapped. Did his mom snap? Justin, your email, I just sent you some information. Do you need my email? Sorry, I was just looking at a FOIA request I just requested. Do you need my email address? Or did you send it? Chris just wanted his daughter under control, in my opinion. Yes. I just don't think Chris liked Sebastian. I don't think he has patience. Oh, there was no mention. Absolutely, there was no mention of a bath or shower or anything. Who was it today? God, I've got the brain of a goldfish sometimes. I can't remember nothing. Let me look through my notes here. Actually, it's not my notes. Let me look through Peter Hyatt. I remember now. Peter Hyatt, he did a great live today on Sebastian's case. And if you haven't watched that, please watch it. I'm going to probably do a live on it maybe tomorrow, maybe later tonight. We'll have to see. And he's just brilliant, Peter Hyatt. I love Peter Hyatt, and I love what's her name? I forgot her name too. Damn it. I'll look for her. 1 second. She's a little bit of an older lady. Forgive me. What's her name? Let me look. Give me 1 second. But I like her a lot. Peter Hyatt, he's one of my favorite. Deception Detective. Profiling with Pat Brown. Love her as well. Pat Brown, yes. Pat Brown, yes. Love Pat Brown a lot. And then I like the Deception Detective. I'm not real crazy about the guys. Is she still alive? Yeah. Why wouldn't she be? The behavior panel. I'm not really I'm just not I don't I just don't know with them. I just don't I think they're almost scared to say anything now. It just seems like they're just too maybe it's, they don't want to go out too far and say the things based on sponsors or whatever, but I just think that they're just so in a box now. Thank you, Gigi. I just think they're just so much in a box now that they're just afraid to say something. Have I seen Practical Linguistics? No, I haven't. No, I'll look at them up though. I think they absolutely. Thank you, Leslie. It's very sweet of you. Yes, we'll drop Peter's link. Here. We'll play a little bit of his if you want. Now, Peter, he's so professional, but he will tell you what he thinks, and he's not afraid to put his opinion out there. He is so professional and so intellectual. Good. He's not the bells and whistles, the glitz and the glam. He is just about speaking what he thinks and knows or feels. His opinions, I guess. This is
for the spring. And I'd like to address some of the issues surrounding the missing 15-year-old boy, Sebastian, from Tennessee, now going on 6 weeks.
This is Peter.
And some of the unusual elements of the case. And a couple thoughts for you first. Last video I said.
Yeah. Peter, he's not relying. He's like, I tried to I was going to super chat him this morning, and like I couldn't even because he didn't take any money, and I looked for a Cash App and there was no Cash App there. So I was like, well, I guess he doesn't, but he, yeah, I agree with that, Cassie. I agree with that. What's wrong, bees? What's wrong? What's wrong? Timeline any good? Please. Yeah, it is daily. Yeah, it is. I looked at that yesterday. I looked at that yesterday. What's going on? Is JLR here? Hey, JLR. Good to see you if you are. Good to see you. Yeah, this is
It
Peter.
would be a short video, and I bloviated for over an hour, so hopefully
We
this
can
one
see you,
will
single
be a little
mom.
briefer.
We see you, babe.
I do like taking questions, and I like to do the videos live. I enjoy that more. The interaction is always good, and I often pick up a lot of great ideas that are presented from the audience. So I have just a couple notes to follow on this. Hopefully the volume is good and you can see the screen.
Peter Hyatt, he works with so many law enforcement. I think he's worked with the FBI. He's got a book on Amazon as well. Maybe. Okay.
That's in my notes.
Peter, he puts it out. He just does.
So a little over 6 weeks ago, a 15-year-old boy went missing from Tennessee, where he was with his mother and living with the stepfather.
Hey, JLR, is anything on the Proudfoots? They're still buckled down, 3.5 hours away. Man, they're
who
Proudfoots are a joke.
Alleged to have not been home at
He's
the
from
time.
what? Massachusetts?
Something pretty
Maine?
easy for law enforcement to discern on.
Something like
It's
that.
a public case, so I comment on it in public. I don't comment on any cases that I work with police on. That's just a recipe for disaster. And also, I am a self-described one-trick pony. It's just the language. I leave the other aspects up to the investigators who work very diligently in these things. This was a public case, and
Yeah, I'm not for the behavior panel. I just think they've sold out, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I don't know.
I think we've seen quite a bit of an emotional reaction from people. But sometimes it's a good idea to step back a little bit. I'm not a true crime junkie, so to speak. I frequently take breaks, and sometimes a pressing case is in the news that I don't know anything about, in spite of being raised as a news junkie when I was a boy. This was just one of many cases of missing children. So, it's very upsetting. I have other work that I do through analysis, first with law enforcement and then with businesses.
2 channels in one
And in
chat.
business, for example, I do a thing called employment analysis, where someone
I think Peter might be married, Jude. But if he's not, Peter, right there in the comments, in the side chat, I've got a mod. I really likes you, if you're not married, but I suspect you are.
who wants to work for a company can write out a statement about themselves, can say anything they want
Always
about
the
themselves. It's
matchmaker.
very useful. And
Slide in the DMs.
it often gives us a lot of insight, and it's a no pressure. Is that increases the frustration upon parents, biological parents, because of the greater challenges they face. It's very difficult, some more difficult than others. But if you factor that in with a stepfather or a boyfriend in the home, now we have 2 risk factors. And then if you 3
Hubba hubba.
Child Protective Services history, it becomes even more so concerning.
You see what Peter is talking about? He, having a child with a disability, and then having a stepfather, and then the CPS. It's the layers that add on to these things, right? It's not just one thing, but it's the layers. And okay. One second. Okay, I just got your email. Oh, I did not know that. Are you sure about that? The person who emailed me? Okay. It doesn't look good for Sebastian with CP as a step parent. No, it's the someone who can make you laugh. You always need someone who can make you laugh. And I really believe you need someone there, in a relationship, one has to be more of the high strung one, and you have to have someone that's more calm. You both can't you you both can't be like really hyper. It doesn't work. You got to have one calm person that you can ground, or they can ground you a little bit, and you can lift them up a little bit. Yin and yang. Yes. Yes. Yep. Partners need to balance each other out. Same, bees. Same. Yeah. You need to have one that's like, liquid Valium to your ADHD medicine, right? You got to have both. That way you're balanced.
But I still didn't look too heavily into the case until I read that the boy was with his mother, who hasn't addressed the public. And that is a red flag. Something is wrong.
I don't think I'm only single to billionaires, millionaires and billionaires. That's the only I'm single to. If you're not a millionaire or a billionaire, I'm not single. Okay. Just saying.
We ask, how is it that a mother can not address the public? And I saw one criticism that I'd like to answer to. Someone obviously disagreeing with my own theories.
Hold on. What did he say, Janine? I guess I missed it. What did he say shortly after Sebastian went missing? I'm not familiar with it. He's worked on many high-profile cases. He's got a book online as well. Yes. I mean, like I always say, and if you're a millionaire or a billionaire, I would prefer it to be like an Anna Nicole Smith kind of marriage. Like, you need to be really old too. Really old, so I don't gotta put up with you that long. So, like, I need, what's his name? Marshall. His last name's Marshall. What's his name? I forget his name. It's Marshall something. Justin, it is what he called Sebastian. Even said it to Seth's mother. I don't know. 20 years between you and your husband. Howard Marshall. Yes. Thank you, Cassie. Yes. Here, Mr. Marshall, husband, let me get you out of your wheelchair. Come on, honey. Come on. Come on, baby. You know, something like that. I would never. My kids will come with me. Listen, probably my husband would come with me too.
Which is great because I like to weigh different opinions, said that when the mother didn't speak, you called her on it. Then when she did speak, you called her on it. She can't win, whatever she does. Fact check. True. When the mother didn't speak, I did say that. This is not good. This is a red flag. This is a squelching of a maternal instinct that when we use the animal reference from the Bible, the bear, the mother bear, that type of analogy won't work unless it's true in nature.
Oh,
and so law of nature is a mother bear robbed of one of her whelps is going to attack. And the expectation is that when a child goes missing, the maternal instinct will be greatly engaged, a hormonal response. She'll go before a camera and say, "This is my son. This is what happened. This is what he looks like."
For the record, I'm joking. I'm just trying to make y'all laugh. That's all. I'm really joking. I promise.
and in particular case here, and these are some of the behaviors to look out for. These are some of the things you might see immediately. There are cases where police may know a great deal more and want to keep that tamped down. Mothers oftentimes blow right through the red lights and say, "No, this is my child." It's an instinctive reaction to, and this is just a general statement, call out to the child. Then the mother gets interviewed and the media says, "How are you coping?" And the mother will probably answer that question politely, but move right over to what the missing child is going through. This is a natural instinct. It's something that I think is very difficult to turn off. The only thing that I've seen turn it off is guilt.
Yes. Yes, because in guilt, they're more worried about themselves, about proving their innocence. And I haven't even watched all of this all the way through yet. I've watched a lot of it, but he will talk about I mean, you know what, Elisa? She didn't have to wipe it that long though. Okay? Just saying. Don't forget it. But she's talking about how they're always talking about his shortcomings or his downfall.
Of some form.
Who does that?
Ranging from neglect all the way up to homicide. And this is a lot of cases over a lot of years. And so someone will say in defense, "Well, you don't know how you would react or how someone would react when their child goes missing." Yeah, actually we do. We have a lot of information about that.
You got
and so that this mother was quiet and didn't go to media. And there's a stepfather. And there is special needs. And there's we learned later on the history of child protective. These are things that are very concerning risk factors that add into a case. And so what we want to know is everything possible about a case.
I like Peter Hyatt. He was saying, there are people that are talking about, the social media, blaming like us in social media. And Peter's like, if you want to look at someone, look at Chris. He's the one that did these interviews and told us these crazy things that, he has done and been through, naturally people are going to take what you said because you've done some crazy stuff.
Mother did finally speak, and the media, I think, correctly identified it as breaks her silence. And so a maternal instinct that can be squelched like that, something's wrong.
Yes.
Something's amiss.
Listen, a mother, a father will do anything and everything. Anything and everything. They will, if there was a world stage, right? You're standing on stage in front of the world. You will scream their name from the rooftops because you are missing your child. Am I froze? I don't know. Right? They will stand on the world stage and they will do anything. A mother or a father will not go inward instinctually. It doesn't matter if you are the shyest human being in the world. Those moments, that shit is out the window. Am I froze still? Yes. Move heaven and hell. Am I still froze? Okay, not frozen. Okay. So that is okay. That is what a mother and a father and even, most family members or your loved ones, you will scream from the rooftops. There are times when, it is just a normal, instinctual, internal, universal thing that we do as parents. And for parents to not do every single thing that they can do in order. What do you think Seth is doing? Seth has literally almost, made himself, sick. Constantly doing interviews, constantly searching, doing anything and everything he can in order to find his child. What do you see Chris and Katie doing? Well, they tried to drive this narrative with some interviews, but when people heard what was going on and realized the things that were going on, and people started not, you're telling this story and it's not making sense. Well, once they couldn't drive their narrative or their story, well, then what did they do? Listen, in my opinion, if you are innocent, you are going to not miss anything. Don't care how you feel about me. Thank you for letting me be here today. Let me tell you my story. I've got another interview to do next, or I've got to go search in a little bit. I don't care what you think about me. I just need to find my kid. Right? Feel how you feel. But I'm here to tell my story. We'll sort this out later. after my kid is found.
And then as we look into her background a little more, you can see even more so. She
Absolutely, Candace and Dawn Wells. Absolutely, from the get-go, Candace and Dawn took 2 weeks. Tell me a mother that it takes 2 weeks to get out in front of your kid and to get in front of media with Dawn and Candace. 2 weeks? Because their story didn't make sense either. Didn't make any sense. Timeline way off. Criminal history, especially with kids. With Candace. Lost every child she ever had. Or gave him up. Drugs in the house. Just endless amounts. If it takes you 2 weeks, I mean, the first 48 hours is extraordinarily important. You waited half of a month to get out to do one interview. Where are they at right now? We're almost at 3 years. They haven't done an interview since 1967, right? I'm obviously being dramatic there, but they have forgotten about everything. They've just moved on with life. Chris and Katie, they've just moved on. They're in a little camper, shacked up, doing a hell of a lot of nothing. Natalie Holloway's mother, still, up until this was just recently, we knew what happened to Natalie Holloway finally, just up until 6 months ago. She was going to Bermuda more times than she could count, wrote books, did an obscene number of interviews, worked with lawmakers. We can't even get Chris and Katie to come out of their damn camper to look for their kid. Can't get Dawn and Candace to do anything for summer. They won't drop the bottle long enough.
she's likely someone that would speak out. So that caught my attention very early on. Then, to fact check the criticism as true, the second part of it is that when she did speak, I was more concerned. It's like, oh, this is not good. I didn't hear anything about Sebastian. I didn't hear the natural maternal cravings. I saw someone that was being very silent while a stepfather took over who
I don't remember what I said, but I said
wasn't there.
I said Bermuda, I think it's Aruba.
And he took over the interviewing, and he answered the questions. And to me, in statement analysis, the answers appeared to be coordinated, worked together. And then a subsequent interview confirmed that for me. And I also, with the same technique, saying she's withholding information about what happened before 6 a.m. Something happened. And then there was, as I mentioned in a previous video, the recall, which was identical in 2 interviews in the beginning, of her need to tell the public that Sebastian said, "I love you, Mama," is another red flag in missing child cases. So the mother and the stepfather spoke about themselves, and then he took over, and the interviews from there just went wild. And I'll comment on that in a moment or two. And they talked about themselves, and they went on this, I call it an apology tour, but a rehab my image tour, where he showed through his language that he is angry, that he is combative, that he enjoys confrontation, the language of belligerency. I was very concerned for physical abuse of Sebastian, not just
Bingo.
emotional abuse.
Chris loves to let people know that he is brash.
Certain machismo about the fighting, where he would challenge people, "I'll answer anything," and then he'd duck the answering questions. The biological father, I don't know why he wasn't in front of the cameras. Maybe he was. I didn't see that during the first week. When he did speak, I found some concerns there too. And one of the concerns, which to me was shocking that it wasn't followed up upon by the interviewer, was when he said, "If you see him, don't let him into your house." And I thought to myself, those are behavioral issues that he's addressing, and he's not being asked a follow-up question. What do you mean, if I see Sebastian outside, give him food, but don't let him in? That's really weird. That's, unusual. And that's the type of thing where I want to ask follow-up questions about. So with 6 weeks, as I think hope dwindles, why did this case catch so many people's interest, but not other missing children, including missing children from the area? And I think you can thank the stepfather for that. His interviews were so outrageous and so egregious.
Yes.
That he gave probably the best PR work for keeping Sebastian's face out there than anybody did.
Yep. Peter is absolutely right. By being as aggressive, and the things that Chris said, he gave the best PR, absolutely, to keep his name out, because our jaws were on the floor. And remember, like Chris McDonough always says, there's the public self, the private self, and the secret self. This is his public persona. This is his public self, which is the most calm, respectful, how we want the world, right, to acknowledge us. Everyone has it. And if what we just saw, is the best that Chris has to offer, I really worry about what Sebastian went through, in my opinion. I just can't wrap my head around Katie thinking it's okay for her son to be treated in such a way. I think so too.
Because people were infuriated by this guy's language and his demeanor. And people rushed to blame him. And here's another thing I disagree with some of you on, is that in the original interviews, they did not show guilty knowledge of where he was, location-wise, or that they killed him. If they did, I don't see it in the language. And of course, I check with a lot of other professionals with that, and no one said, hey, you're missing this, you're missing that, something that I count on in life. So his outrageousness, here's a guy that's married 5 times, another risk factor, but married 5 times, giving out marital advice. What these details gave us is actually really important. For whatever the outcome of this case may be. I want to know everything I can.
Thank you so much, Sweet Kim. Thank you, my love. If it's relevant, but wanted it out there. Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate it. September, that email you sent me, are you sure that there's 2 of them? Because I haven't heard that. I'll check on it, though.
About the household.
Thank you again, Kim. Thank you so much, my love. Appreciate you.
Sebastian walked out that door using that expression from the mother and stepfather. And I personally think it was locked behind him. Whether he ran out under duress or he stepped outside to do the garbage and she angrily locked the door, or something happened. There was an altercation of some form, which is I believe the missing information. And something went terribly wrong. Whether she fell asleep or not, I don't know. But time significantly passed, and when she addressed things when she began to speak more after hearing criticism about her not speaking, that first interview, she looked like a hostage. She began to speak more, and things began to change. And one of the things that I noted in her statement was how much she stressed about time. And when someone does that, it becomes very sensitive. I look for a delay. And yes. I believe that the phone call holds the key. And so if he is going to do a polygraph for Nancy Grace or for anyone else, the questions, you can ask the 2 questions. Do you know where he is? Did you harm him?
Bingo. Listen to this.
And I think he'll pass those things. If you ask him some questions on the polygraph, they have to be about that phone call.
Yes. That phone call. That phone call. Something happened during that phone call. What happened? For 3 hours? What do you mean pertaining to Homeland Security, TJ? Yeah, the polygraphs. I mean, I'm not really. Polygraphs are hocus pocus.
Did you tell your wife to lock the door?
In my opinion,
Did
overall.
she lock the door? That sort of thing. Along those lines, whatever the pre-screening interview reveals. And I mean this in terms of using his own language.
They're a tool.
Not introducing any new words or anything from law enforcement. So roll to the beginning. 911. That's here in the United States, that's our emergency line. We want to hear from the parent present. We don't want to
Well, let's say it was, he says they say it was from 9 to 12. Well, Chris had to be at work, right? Early the next day. You're going to talk to him until 12. That means he probably wasn't asleep till 1. Come on, y'all. No. That's one job you can't be tired on, with the crane up in the air. Can they check power, water usage? Oh, absolutely. Mhm. Absolutely.
Three-way call,
Yeah, it works on a crane.
and we don't want to call to the sheriff's department. You're the parent, you pick up the phone and you dial 911. Now, living in the United States, that is instinctive.
Yeah, Homeland Security, that is a broad. I mean, it's all kind of one umbrella, but there's different jobs, obviously, in Homeland Security. So, perhaps I haven't heard that, but wasn't sure.
You were there. You have the information. So that call to the sheriff's department tells me there's guilt involved. There's guilt involved. Now, I've covered this before on like the Madeline McCann.
Really? Wasn't working on the 25th, 26th? I'll check. Hold on.
Case and other.
I mean, I don't see why he would have been working on Saturday and Sunday. I believe Seth said Chris was there Friday for sure. Or sorry, Saturday.
Cases where neglect.
Yeah, well, she says a three-way call. We were on a three-way call. But yet she says when she got back, she was talking to him or called him and said she was talking or had called him and said that the police were on their way. You were on the phone call with him. Why would he have to tell you that the police were on the way? You were on a three-way call. Remember? Doesn't make sense.
Led to harm. I've even seen those who have given someone fentanyl. Person overdoses and dies, and they say, I didn't kill so-and-so. The drugs did it. And so it is with neglect. It's the same type of distancing language where I don't think that mother or stepfather intended harm to come upon him. I think machismo dad wanted to teach him a lesson, make a man of him, that sort of thing. But I'm certainly open to other opinions. And one of the things I want to answer as we go on a little bit further is objections to that. Like no dog scent, no this or that. I think those are important objections, and they should stand. What I've learned over the years, this may sound like a little bit crazy, but when the language and the evidence differ, or the language and reason differ. So if he left in barefoot and the dogs didn't pick up the scent, hey, what's wrong with, there's a hole there in your thinking. And what I've learned, over a lot of years is when the language and these things differ, if I stay with the language and the case comes out, I find, oh, now that makes sense. I didn't know this detail, didn't know that detail, but now it makes sense. And the language for me most often proves to be correct. And so I don't know why dogs didn't pick up the scent. I know it's not, and also with the searches, it's not as foolproof as it may appear on television. And I bring up the point here because you can listen to the video on this. There was a young woman in the United Kingdom who went missing. Her name was Nicola Bully. And when she went missing, her common law husband or partner spoke out, and he did not show concern for her whereabouts. In fact, his language showed that he had processed, she's not coming back. He had to be asked.
Chris keeps saying he can't be precise about times because it could harm the investigation. but he specified 9:43 for the call. Yes, Janie. I can't right now, Cassie. I'll tell you why privately, but I can't right now. I have to fix that somehow. But yeah, Chris is like, I can't tell you what days I was there prior to, Sebastian going missing, what days during the week. Why couldn't you tell us why you were at your own house prior to Sebastian going missing? Why? He says, TBI told me not to say something. Bull butter. They would never. It makes no relevance. Only to you.
You're holding out hope, aren't you? Which is a terrible question to ask. And he would affirm, I'm holding out hope. But there were other things in his language. So there was a red flag right off the bat. And people correctly identified that. But if you listen carefully to him, his language was the same as other spouses of suicidal people. And what we need to do, it's called linguistic empathy, is to understand what does someone go through in living with someone that is suicidal. They go through this trauma, this significant hormonal response. And if it continues over time, especially over a couple of years, emergency after emergency after emergency, they wear out. I covered another case on one of the videos where a pastor's wife went missing. And there was similar vein in his language. A certain resignation that you don't expect to be there. And this is.
No, that's they found a body in Tennessee, but it's unrelated. It's unrelated, Tracy.
Is because they get worn down. And Nicola Bully's common law husband was worn down. And so I thought, oh, she's had mental health issues for a long time. And the media and the public via social media were not having it. They were not buying it. This was absolutely a police cover-up, and this was, he's the killer, and someone moved the body, and all that sort of things. And police gave out some personal information which would affirm some mental health issues. And they got slammed for that because they're trying to defend themselves. And it's really difficult to do so in that situation. But while they were searching for her, a searcher, professional searcher, with some very expensive boating equipment, came forward to volunteer his services. And when he first spoke out, I was glad to hear his confidence. I'll find her. I can find her within 5 or 10 minutes. And I thought, oh, that's a little much. And then I noticed that he kept going back to the camera. And I said, uh-oh, the police are going to be in trouble with this one because they have somebody who loves the camera, and that's not good. Not in cases like that. And he missed the body, which was really close by. And it happens. And dogs miss scents, especially contaminated areas where he may have been outside during the day, for example. And it happens. And it's very difficult, I think, to find, especially in any type of rural area, to find someone. Regarding that, I think it's fair to assume that law enforcement has gone through his entire circle of social contacts, which apparently was small. And I appreciate journalists that are continuing to dig at that and to look for things like that. I like independent journalists. They don't have the same type of.
Look at this. I was just reading the someone wrote 53 minutes. I asked a family member in law enforcement, where would someone put a body between Nashville and Memphis? He immediately said Natchez State Park. No hesitation when he was asked that. Maybe that needs to be checked out. That is where very close to Holly Bobo's remains were found. And it was a long while before she was discovered. I remember that, yes. Seth may have been onto something when he said, when he went to look there a few weeks ago. I want to look that up. Seth has been there repeatedly, someone says. Huh. I wonder if they've had like technology there. That is the state park Seth went to. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But how big is it? Yeah, Seth's a good guy. Just trying to see if there was anything. Yeah, this is where the human remains were found on a property in Kingsport Sunday afternoon. A news release from SCSO Monday said that the remains were located in the Kingsport area of the county. No approximate location or street name was provided, from what I understand. But it's huge. Stormy Skies, you can send it to this phone number, or you can text, or you can email it rather. You can text it to that number. They're in Mississippi now. Guys, I'm at 3 hours. I'm going to jump off. I might come back later tonight at some point. Do you know how far that is from the tip? That's a good question. I don't know. I do not know. I was thinking that too. Fun to ski. I hope it's, it at least gives answers to some family member. Over 400 miles. Damn. Thank you all. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Y'all are amazing. Every single one of you. I love each of you so much. So much. Make sure you are subscribed to my other channel, third channel. It's called Hey Sweet Tea. But Hey Sweet Tea is how you say it. Make sure you're subscribed to it. That is my new third channel, and it's where I just talk about what I want to talk about, pretty much. And I go live randomly. 48,000 acres. Damn. Yeah. Just look up Hey Sweet Tea Smiley going live. Awesome. Head over to Smiley World. Thank you guys. Oh, absolutely. Everyone is safe here. Always. Thank you guys for being with me for learning about these cases. Thank you so much for your support, your love, and there's absolutely nothing to apologize for, Babs. Absolutely. Love you all. I will see you later. Good night, guys. God bless. We'll see you later.